Good morning. It's Saturday, September 3rd, and there's a worldwide shortage of manpower. And this is especially true in the food industry, in the restaurants, and coffee shops, and cafes around the world, where they can't get help, people to wait tables, etc. So I want to tell you a little bit about how companies are coping with that. We go to the steam room in Port Jefferson, and they have a maitre d' who greets you at the entrance and takes you to your table. And on the table is a very beautiful menu, several pages of delights. And you select your delight, and then you personally walk up to the cashier and place your order. Then they give you a little disc, and this little disc you bring back to the table. It's an electronic device. And when your food is ready, the disc beeps. And then there's one person in that area who goes up to the cashier, picks up your food, and delivers it to the table. That's it. And this is a beautiful spot because while you're waiting for your food, you can look out at the harbor in Port Jefferson and you can see the ferry, and occasionally it beeps hard or roars and leaves, and then sometimes you see it landing. All right, so that's one way of coping. But I want to tell you what's happening in Japan and China. They have started building robots to do the jobs of waiters and waitresses. There is a company that's called Rice Robotics. And Rice Robotics has created that cute little guy who opened this rant, right? That cute little charismatic delivery robot. And he's working in hotels and offices in Japan and in Hong Kong. And his job is to deliver the coffee. He delivers coffee, but he can deliver many other things. He's not strictly for coffee delivery. Now, if you took a good hard look at the picture when this rant started, you could see that he has no arms and no legs. He's propelled by a set of wheels. And how could he carry and deliver coffee if he has no arms or anything to hold the tray? Well, the coffee is placed in his head, and his head opens up. It's a compartment that opens up, and the coffee is sitting in there. And he has a pace at which he travels so that the coffee does not spill. And so I am wondering what in the world we in the United States are doing in the same areas. Or are we going to wait until the Japanese and Chinese have filled the market with their robots and we'll be left out in the cold and have to buy our robots from them? Or are we going to sit by just as we did in the chip industry and let these companies in Japan and China take over the world of robotics? I don't know the answer to that question. And you're probably thinking that Stan is nuts. And I know my good friend David, who is so against robotics, is probably, if he ever sees this rant, because he's not technically savvy, probably thinking I'm nuts too. But I'm not, because this robot has already started doing more than just delivering coffee. It's already providing a range of services at venues in Hong Kong and Japan. And the Rice Robotic Company has deployed this little critter as a bellhop in a Hong Kong hotel. And he provides room service to the guests. In Tokyo, he delivers snacks to the employees at SoftBank Group's headquarters from the building's 7-Eleven convenience store. And this little robot even had a part in a TV show in the drama series called Communion. He was delivering coffee to one of the cast members. Now you may be thinking, how can this little critter figure out where to go and how to move around in crowded spaces like a restaurant or a hotel? Well, the answer to that is very simple. He has a complex navigating system built into him, and he's equipped to handle busy environments, including elevators. He's equipped with light sensors and depth cameras and ultrasound sensors to avoid obstacles. Think about that. This is like a little human. He can maneuver freely around multi-story hotels and shopping centers. And that is the story that's being told by Victor Lee, the founder and CEO of Rice Robotics. And obviously he's telling the truth. This sounds like a creation of a science fiction story or something, but it's live, it's real, it's happening. So the founder of the company has also said, this is your friendly neighborhood robot. And a wonderful thing he also points out is that robots don't get sick. They don't carry diseases. So in a world that has been shaken severely by a pandemic, and many people are now afraid to go to crowded places in them. And I'm sure there are plenty of people that worry about the people that are serving them and giving them food. Well, if you have a robot doing that job, you can rest assured that that robot is not being infected by COVID-19 or one of its variations. You can rest assured that that robot doesn't have a cold or pneumonia or some other insidious human disease that will put your life in danger. No, robots are hygienically sound. And the other wonderful thing about a robot will be that he's not taking any vacation and he can work 12, 14, 16 hours a day. So theoretically, the restaurant could stay open all day and all night. But all I got to do now is figure out how to have robotic cashiers and things like that. And then maybe you won't even need to hire any people in the hospitality section of the world. And you may say, so what? So they got a robot that's delivering coffee. Well, they've also developed a robot that is capable of cleaning things. And her name is Jasmine. And I don't know why they have put the name of Jasmine on the robot, because there are many of the male persuasion that are capable of cleaning up. But anyhow, they've got a robot that cleans things. And they've got a taller robot with a touch screen and a two-way communication that can patrol public areas. And it can make deliveries. And it can guide visitors in shopping malls and things like that. And let us not forget that ShopRite has a robot that wanders around and looks for spots on the floor or something that has fallen. So we have a robot in our existence, but it's not as sophisticated as the robots that Rice is developing out in the Far East. So the future is now, and it's coming fast. And they have been able to accommodate these sectors, the cleaning sector, the hospitality sector. And watch out, because they will be here soon. So I leave you with that this morning. Robots are becoming a way of life. Bye.